Thank you once again, everyone, so much for being here for the entirety of this afternoon. The only thing really left for us to do is close out the event. And to do so, I would like to invite the board chair and an incredible friend and support system to me to come and give closing remarks, our board chair of JSpaceCanada, Norm Hanson.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, and thank you for sticking around. I'm Norm Hanson. I'm the board chair of JSpaceCanada, and in my notes I wrote it's my privilege to give these closing comments, and it is, but I also have to say it's a challenge to, close this thing out, especially after we've heard the very interesting and high-level presentations from our speakers. But thank you all for sticking around. I will not be that long. For myself and on behalf of JSpace, I want to offer my heartfelt thanks to the presenters for their contributions to the discussion and discourse today, and for taking time from their schedules to travel. I know it's not easy. I took copious notes from the presenters. I appreciated what I heard. A lot of it is very relevant to the work that we're doing at JSpace, and I'm sure for New Israel Fund and the other presenting partners. Speaking of which, my thanks to the presenting partners, the New Israel Fund of Canada, Canadian Friends of Peace Now, and Meretz Canada, who all these organizations support JSpace in a myriad of ways, and that support has been crucial to our work as we are trying to grow our scope and our impact. As board chair, I get to work very closely with Maytal Kowalski, our indefatigable executive director, and thus far, our only paid staff. So thank you, Maytal, for your invaluable work on the dozens of things that you engage with simultaneously. I don't know how you do it. And as you guide the organization to fulfill our mission. And I want to also give my thanks to the JSpace Canada board members who devote their volunteer time and efforts and skills to ensure our sustainability and growth. I ask now for your indulgence to permit me to speak about gratitude from a personal perspective and how that informs my worldviews and the work that we do at JSpaceCanada. First, to our Israeli and Palestinian partners and colleagues, while we in the diaspora engage with Israel, Palestine, and the challenges of finding a path to peace and justice, we do so from a long distance and not all the time. While you live the realities every minute of every day, both in the work that you do to sustain the dream of peace, but also in your personal lives as you contend with the very real threats to your security and safety. I fell in love with Israel on my first trip there 50 years ago as a naive 18-year-old, so you know how old I am. My Israeli cousin, also 18 at the time, and on a brief break before his army service, took me on a grand tour, a 2-month tour from top to bottom and side to side of the country, and I fell immediately in love with the place and its people. As with all such intense first loves, it has changed and matured over the decades with the inevitable disappointments and failures, and I recognize that the view I was given then was not the whole view, the whole picture. But yet, it has endured this love and fired my ambition to do my small part in creating change for the better. And I have such intense gratitude to all of our Palestinian and Israeli partners for staying in this fight, regardless of the costs that you bear, and for helping us understand not only what is at stake, but also what a possible path forward may look like. Like so many people in North America's Jewish communities, I'm the grandchild of 4 Jewish refugees from Eastern Europe who fled the persecution that they faced. In my case, Canada offered them 2 things, refuge and opportunity. My grandparents all found refuge here, and they grasped the opportunity offered them, and they built their lives and their families and their communities. I will be forever grateful to this country for what it offered my grandparents, the chance to not only live, but to live good lives where they could exercise agency and self-determination. That intrinsic right of all people to self-determination was cherished and valued by my grandparents as it is by all of us. The vision that we have here, the vision of JSpaceCanada, is self-determination for the Jewish and Palestinian people in Israel and Palestine. If we cherish and value and demand it for ourselves, so too must we insist on it for others. I'm the son of a guy who interrupted his university studies to volunteer as a combat soldier with the Royal Canadian Engineering Corps. He, together with his fellow Canadian soldiers, landed on the beaches of Normandy on Juno Beach on July 4th, 1944. He fought his way through France, Belgium, on into Holland and Germany as part of the grand effort of that remarkable generation of men and women to rid Europe of fascism and restore its democracies. I'm eternally grateful for the immeasurable gift they gave us, the chance to live freely in a golden era of prosperity and freedom and seemingly boundless opportunity. What we may have overlooked or not realized, and what is now crystal clear to me, is that they also bequeath to us the, dare I say, sacred responsibility to protect the freedoms and democracies that they rescued and liberated. This is a bequest and responsibility from which we must not look away. We have much work to do, my friends, and for me, part of that work is what I do for JSpaceCanada, and before that, the New Israel Fund of Canada. Our commitment is to the principles of free and just democracies, where rights and freedoms are universally applied without preference to one group or another, but are equally applied and protected across the board for all. I'm grateful to all of you who came out today to participate in and contribute to the discussions at our conference. In closing, I pose a question. It comes from a sign that I saw someone holding at a recent anti-war protest in Tel Aviv. Why do we spend so much on war and so little on peace? That is our work and our challenge, my friends, to flip that equation and to work towards the goal of us spending more on peace than we do on war. The struggle to answer this question may rest with the philosophers, but while they're sorting that out, the remedy in my mind is more and stronger engagement with the people and organizations who are on the front lines of this fight to find a path to peace and self-determination for Israelis and Palestinians. They need your support. We need your support now more than ever. Please continue to support us, get more involved as board volunteers, board members, give as often and as generously as you are able. Those who came before us and fought for and built these democracies and bequeathed to us the lives we enjoy are watching to see what we do with what they built and sustained. Thank you so much.